So there are some problems with this gospel passage. Namely, that this passage is one of many that has been, I would say, intentionally misinterpreted, but it's at least been misinterpreted for the harm of God's people. And it is one of those passages on which the health and wealth gospel is founded. Your faith has made you well. If you have enough faith, you will be made well. If you just pray hard enough, if you believe hard enough, if you are righteous enough, then God or Jesus will heal you. And conversely, if you are sick and you are not healed, that's a sign that you are too sinful, you don't have enough faith. And if you go to something other than Jesus, that's just further proof of how much you don't believe. So I open with that because I don't want that to be our takeaway. Yes, there are miraculous healings that happen. I've heard of them. I've known people who've gone through them where something was wrong and then with no scientifically known evidence, the illness is gone. But that's not always the case. Sometimes the miracle is that God gave us the gift of knowledge and learning. And he gave to us people who trained as doctors and nurses and surgeons to know how to treat illnesses. And so the miracle is that God gave us the means to become healers. That we've moved past a point where we thought that anyone who was sick was because they had too much fluid in their body. And they needed to have that fluid let out. Like, we've moved past that point in history, and that's a good thing. But God has given us the ability to move forward. And so the healing of Bartimaeus is significant because while he gets physical sight, it's because he already had spiritual sight. And spiritual sight is what is far more important. So what does spiritual sight mean? So this is shortly after when Jesus is explaining all of what must happen to the Son of Man, to these people who have been following him for 3 years and should know the deal. But they keep constantly missing the picture. Oh, don't say that they're going to kill you, Jesus. That's not going to happen. You're not going to let that happen to you. You're fine. Oh, you know what? If it does happen when you become in your glory, let me sit at your right hand. Let me be powerful in your kingdom, Jesus. Let me do that. They constantly misinterpret the message that Jesus came to send. And even in this passage, the crowds that have gathered around him see this person who's been a cast off in society, the type of person that Jesus just lives for. And time and again, Jesus has gone out of his way to be with his people who are cast out. And here is blind Bartimaeus on the roadside. Jesus, Son of David, have mercy on me. And everyone around him says, don't you know that he is busy? Jesus doesn't have time for you. But Bartimaeus, what does he have to lose? He's already blind. He's already begging on a roadside outside of the city. He's as low as you can go. So he just calls out even more loudly, Son of David, have mercy on me. have mercy. He had the audacity to ask for the one thing that should have been given to him from the beginning: mercy. How many times do we see people who need mercy but don't get it? And how many times do we make it incumbent on them to be the ones to initiate it and ask, instead of us seeing them and having mercy? So we have the story of blind Bartimaeus having the audacity to ask for what he should already have been given. And the crowd is not having anything. But his voice reaches the ear of Jesus. And Jesus knows what needs to happen. So let's be more like Jesus. Let's be the ones who hear the voice of those crying out. Let's be the one to see the injustices that are already happening around us every day. Let's be the ones to say, what would you have me do for you? And if all of us can do that, if all of us can go out into the world to see the world as a place that should be filled with love but is not, a place that should be filled with justice but is not, let's see that world and have compassion and do something to make it different. It's all too easy to be just like the crowd. Oh, too busy. More important things are going on than your discomfort. More important things need to happen before your needs can be addressed. But that's not the way it's meant to be. Because for the person who needs mercy, for the person who needs justice, there can be nothing more that they need than to receive justice and mercy. To know that, in fact, they are loved. To know that there is somewhere that welcomes them and sees them for who they are and affirms them for who they are. And if we're not willing to be the people to start, then what even is the point of everything we say we believe? So let's go out into the world. Let's see the world, truly see. And let us be the ones to take the first step. Let us be the ones to make the beloved community that God has intended since the beginning. Let us make that a reality today and every day for everyone we come across. And day after day, week after week, month after month, year after year, we will transform this world. Slowly but surely, we will transform this world. And it will become what it's meant to be. but it's going to take us actually saying, we're going to start practicing what we preach. We're going to see the world with open eyes. We'll put aside our own discomfort so that we can give comfort to those who need it most. Let that be our calling card. Amen.